Welcome to the Video Game Town Hall podcast. Podcast for cool people who like cool things. And I am one of those cool people. I'm the mayor of Video Game Town, Jared Russo. And just by listening, you're cool too. I'm here with my fellow co-owner, co-runner, co-captain of the ship, Grant Bruner. Now, Grant, I got my COVID booster and my flu shot. So we're going to see how my arm does this podcast and if I can write articles tomorrow. It usually has, it wallops me. It really knocks me flat on my ass. So,
well, knock on wood, you're not on your ass. Unless you want to be. Eyebrow raise.
Yeah, unless you want to be. I knocked wood with my gavel.
Bang, bang.
So, you wrote an article that got my gears going.
Your juice is flowing. Right.
And that is this constant tension between the most popular genres and what you and I are interested in. And then even between that, the genres that you and I are still interested in and which ones that we don't play. Because you wrote about Pokemon and why I didn't really ever grab you or click with you.
Yeah, it's more like it just happened to not. The reason why, and I wrote this article, it's called I Miss the Pokeboat. You can find it on videogame.town, which is a website that we make, which includes a Patreon and a Ko-fi. So if you want our own bonus podcasts, check that out. You can go to videogame.town/donate. But I wrote this because lots of people were talking about Pokemon, especially in the group chat that you and I are in that birthed Video Game Town. Lots of Poke talk. And, video game...
Well, there's a lot of Poke fanatics in the chat, that's why.
It's true. I don't care about Pokemon, but I'm not, mad about it. I'm not mad that people are having fun with Pokemon. And I know other Pokemon fanatics that are not in that chat. I'm not mad that they're having a fun time. It's more like, man, I wish I was having a fun time. It's not like you stop enjoying yourself. You're like, it's just, I wish I was having a good time. But there's nothing I can do except, I would have to go back in time and convince young Grant to get into Pokemon when he was still young.
This is going to segue into what we're talking about, which is genres that it's not for us. They just didn't, something about the genre did not work. And that's because Pokemon for a lot of people.
I love JRPGs.
Well, that's exactly right. It's baby's first JRPG, but it is a very easy to understand, easy to grasp, overly easy and tutorialized JRPG. And what I enjoy about it, obviously, collecting, hunting, exploring. In this case, it's for Pokemon. But building a team, making sure the types are right. You see these things evolve and you name them, and it's like roster construction. So it's like you want something to counter this, and you want something that flies so that ground moves don't hit it. And it's like getting the right 4 moves. So it's using TMs and getting everything perfect. So it's even if you're in a match disadvantage, you have a move that can sort of counter that. And with a lot of JRPGs, for me, it is anime nonsense. It is way too weighty and big and ridiculous and fluffy of a story that goes on for way too long. And there's just and I don't care. I want to play the game. I remember with Sea of Stars, I was just I just want to play. Can I play? And it just kept it's okay, I get it. It's very, very slow. And some of them just get way too not grindy, but there's way too many mechanics, and there's way too many options and potions and items, and it can get overbearing in a way that's I just want to sit and play something. And Pokemon is the most turn off your brain JRPG you will ever encounter.
Yeah, it just doesn't deliver any of the things that I want from an RPG as a grown ass man. It just doesn't have any of that. And so, if you have a bunch of fucking nostalgia for it, yeah, I bet it feels great. I bet it feels great to revisit Pokemon once every year or once every other year. I bet it feels great. I get it. I understand. Not judging. But, as a grown man who does not have nostalgia for Pokemon, except in, the broadest, general way of, there's a Pikachu float in the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade kind of way.
You can play Jigglypuff and Smash Brothers. Then yeah.
I have tried multiple times to play them as an adult, play Pokemon games as an adult. And it's this is fine, but nothing about this is compelling to me. It doesn't keep me engaged. And after a few hours, I'm well, I could be doing literally anything else with my time.
That's true in a sense, for anything.
Right, but it's like not like it's a waste of time. It's a waste of my personal time because I'm not getting much out of it. If you are getting something out of it, then that's fine.
Yeah, I encountered that when playing Dying Light: The Beast. I was like, I get it. I could be playing 1,000 other things. So like, if it was in the middle of summer, there was nothing, I like might have finished that game because it was just like good to listen to podcasts to. But like, not when I have like more compelling things to check out. So I definitely understand that.
The wild thing is that I love RPGs. Like I love RPGs. It's just that the things that Pokemon cares about, it does, like in the Venn diagram, like none of those things are things that I care about in an RPG.
It's not characters and it's not story.
Nope.
I can tell you that right now because there hasn't been one ever.
Nope. And like, because the story is like, you should find Pokemon and fight trainers. End of story.
It's always, there's an evil team of like possible eco-terrorists, but they end up just being like weird PETA where they just like kidnap and like sow dissent and discord and evil. And it's just a real generic, like, you got to stop them. Why is that my problem?
It's always eco-terrorists when they're doing events to try to save the planet, but never eco-terrorists when they're megacorps polluting the shit out of the planet.
I don't think in the games there's been any evil team. It's always a team, by the way. It's always Team Magma, Team Aqua, Team Rocket, Team Rainbow Rocket. I don't think they've ever been like straight up like, we're here to stop plastics from polluting the whatever. It's always like, we like want to kill Pokemon and like do other like incredibly evil things, you know, like capital E. So it's like you really don't like them. It's never like, they got a point, you know, like that's actually pretty, like, it's never compelling.
Hey Jared, you know what video game in which they actually engage with this thing where the people who are fighting to save the planet are labeled eco-terrorists, and then the evil corporation are the ones framed as the winner, and then diving into that? Final Fantasy VII, baby! They were on that tip in 1997!
I have played an hour of several different Final Fantasy mainline games, and it is like impossible to describe the words, or I'm like, this looks great.
The first hour
music is incredible
of Final Fantasy is not where you're getting the good stuff. Like, it's the setup.
No, I know, but like, I for some reason, like Kingdom Hearts immediately was just like, oh, I get this. And every Final Fantasy, I'm like, what's going on?
Weirdly, you listed some things here. I think weirdly, I just don't love first-person shooters. Like, there are things, there are some that I have liked way more than other. Titanfall 2, an incredible example of how you can make a really interesting first-person shooter. And I would say with pretty much any of these, I think I can find like counterexamples where like, oh no, this is so compelling that even though I broadly am not a huge fan of the genre, I can find things to enjoy from it. I just think broadly, if you make a first-person shooter, you have to do a lot of work to make me give a fuck.
That I totally understand. That there can be, what's the phrase I'm looking for? What's the thing that proves the rule or whatever?
Yeah, the exception that proves the rule.
COVID boosters. Am I right, folks? Like Paper Mario, I love to death, and to me that's like, that to me is not even a JRPG, but it is. Like that's like that sort of exception. And I guess yeah, for first person shooters, like the lizard brain of like I move, I aim, I click, boom, thing dies. Like if that primal instinct, that urge to like aim and shoot and like nail it doesn't like immediately satisfy you like over and over again every 30 seconds, then I can see why it takes something like a Titanfall 2 or a Half-Life 2 to like get you interested in it.
It's doing something interesting with the format. It's not just, it's another thing where you point a gun at someone's head and you pull the trigger.
So the list I wrote down, I wrote like half of them for me and half of them for you, not knowing that would be 100% accurate. Because for me, it's like MMOs, there's just like way too much shit on the screen, and like I don't want to play with like other people most of the time. They're very rough around the edges. Like it's not like I'm playing a visual masterpiece or I'm playing like a Naughty Dog narrative, or it just seems like super grindy and just super like I'm gonna have to dedicate my life to this and I don't want to.
It's true. It's not like I dislike MMOs. It's like the structure of an MMO is like incompatible with the life I lead, because they really want hundreds, if not thousands, of hours of your life. I have talked about this multiple times, that I fully believe the people who say that Final Fantasy XIV has some of the best shit in any video game. I believe you. I am not spending hundreds of hours playing Final Fantasy 14 and gather 10 wolf dicks 100 times to get to the part that's good. I'm just not going to do it.
Every time a Law and Order episode ends, it says executive producer Dick Wolf, and I think in a phone book he would be Wolf Dick.
Yeah, wolf dicks. Everybody loves them.
But I also think with MMOs, like the gameplay is like not like super refined. It's not an action game. It's not an adventure game. It's not a shooter. It's not an RPG. It's like, I mean, sure, but like that's not like the main gist. Yeah. I also wrote down here RTS games, which I used to play a lot of when I was a kid. A lot of Sims, a lot of strategy, a lot of RTS. And ever since I stopped being a PC gamer and that like the household computer in the late 90s was like, you play PC games because like you're on the computer a lot and Doom's there. I would play like Age of Empires and Roller Coaster Tycoon and like all sorts of things. And I just fell off because I just moved to consoles.
But have you tried StarCraft? It's pretty good.
I feel like I've played StarCraft before. It's the Warcrafts, which is funny because now I know all the characters because of Hearthstone. So like I could go back and like play those, but I think the remasters that people hate what Blizzard did. But
Command and Conquer was just a staple for me. I loved Command and Conquer because not only is it like it's like a fun RTS, but it's also the dumbest FMV, and that's all the way up my alley.
Spice, a one place not touched by capitalism. I really like the dumbed down baby versions of RTS games like Halo Wars and Gears Tactics.
Sure.
I really like those.
Yeah.
And I want more like that, but then I play XCOM.
Gives you a taste of it without being as grognard about it. As like, no, learn my rules. Learn the build order.
Oh god, build. If I have to build anything in any game, I'm out. I don't want to fucking build. I don't want to be a survival thing. I don't want to craft. I don't want to have to like in Fallout 4 where they're like, why don't you design your town? I'm like, fuck you. I paid money. You designed the fucking town.
Jared, I would play with my best friend in like middle school era. I would play Command and Conquer, and we would play it. We wouldn't even be playing online. We would be playing modem to modem. And we would have it basically an agreement like for 30 minutes, we're not going to attack each other. We're going to build up the most elaborate fucking bases. And then we can attack each other. And it was the greatest time I've ever had in my fucking life.
Modem to Modem, new sitcom coming this fall to CBS.
But it's a modem numeral 2 modem.
Roguelikes. What's going on with roguelikes? Because there isn't a particular like combat genre roguelikes take. It can be anything. No,
but there are things like if you say like deck builder roguelike, I go and I just start vomiting unrelentingly. I just go, no, God, please, not another one. Oh, dear Christ, not into them. And I like in the same way that Titanfall 2 breaks it for first person shooters. Like Hades, yeah. Listen, Hades is so fucking good. That the fact that it's a roguelike, I'm willing to like deal with that and the things about it that I don't love because the rest of it's so good.
Some of the greatest games I've ever played are roguelikes, but I think other than the exception of The Binding of Isaac, I don't think that Dead Cells or Hades or all these other games, like, because they're roguelikes, I like them. They just happen to be roguelikes. They happen to be really replayable. They have like 1,000 different like things in them and meters to build or whatever, but like there's other elements of those games that are also compelling. Whereas with The Binding of Isaac, it's like, but what could I get on this run? Like, how can I build a crazy thing? What can I unlock? What secrets can I find? And it's all procedurally generated. So it's like, that's like the real core of that game.
Yeah, I could imagine a different timeline where roguelikes didn't become popular and you had Hades, but it was not a roguelike. Like, you might have some sort of like proc gen like layout where like the layout changes kind of like Diablo does, where like the dungeons are different every time you like, you know, each time you play or whatever, or like it's long because it's proc gen, but you're not doing the like you're dying and you reset the run and all that stuff. Like I feel like you could rip out a lot of that and still have a really good Hades experience and it not be a roguelike.
I mean, you could definitely either make an old school like Devil May Cry, God of War. Well, God of War is Greek. Or you can go the Zelda route and like, you know, like you can kind of take that
like what I was thinking.
Directions.
It's like make it more like Diablo.
Now, there is one game that sits in the middle of all this. Did you ever play Inscription?
I know people are like, it's the greatest thing ever, and then I'm like, okay, and I sit down and I go, oh god, fuck no, shit, no, I'm not playing this. Oh my god, why? I can't believe that. Like, I even pretended to think that I might play this game. Within 5 minutes of like watching a playthrough, I was just like, oh no, 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 no. No, Grant will not be playing this game.
Man, because yes, like the first third of that game is like a Slay the Spire, but like the amount of like frog fractions levels of secrets and like puzzles in that room where you stand up, like, and then there's some like other stuff going on that has nothing to do with deck building. Like that is a whole ass like rabbit hole you go down.
I'm
and
sure,
it's awesome
but you have to do deck
you're losing
building,
your
and
mind.
that sucks.
But it was really, really good deck building. I mean, it was really competent. Like the ways you could like break your build and like intentionally lose to like power up certain cards who like then become characters who like talk to you and they come back. It's like, why did you sacrifice me? And it's that stuff gets real, real fun. Let's talk about Souls likes.
Fucking hate them. I don't think that there's anyone that I've like enjoyed. I think the closest that you get to them is that I have had any enjoyment is the Star Wars Jedi games, but kind of only because they like defang it entirely. Where like the ways in which it is Souls-like, you can just like change the settings so that like there's bonfires and that's about it.
It's bonfires, and it's when you die, some of your like XP or whatever is in like an enemy that you have to go back to and kill.
You can settings your way out of everything that sucks about Souls-likes.
Yeah, I mean the parry window and like the difficulty and a lot of that stuff. Yeah, you just must be so pissed that like that's the direction that like so many goddamn games went in.
Sure, nothing
15
about them.
years.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, and the way that roguelikes and deck builders are in the indie scene, where it's just like there are so many like. I mean, at this point, I'm trying not to watch fucking, like, when they sit down and, like, okay, here's trailers for new games. I'm just like, all right, I'll wait for Wario 64 to sift through this shit. Because I just know, like, 75% of it's going to be like, it's a Souls-like, it's a roguelike. Like, it's fine, you're allowed to make derivative things, but I just know for sure that these things are not going to be for me. They're like, the thing that they're aping was not for me, so like the lesser versions that are aping it are definitely super duper not for me.
For me, when I watch these live conferences, because I'm an addict and I love being marketed to and commercials shoved up my nose.
That's not the orifice that I thought you were going with.
It's like the super casual, cozy, like farming sim stuff. Like that's, I'm like, get the fuck out of here. I don't need this. I don't want to farm. I don't want to have to upkeep a fictional house. I have a real one. I don't want to do chores. I'm sure there are types of cozy games that I play, but
the problem is like, for me to give a fuck about it, which is not to say that I like wouldn't enjoy them, where it's just like, okay, but are you just doing Stardew Valley? Like, if you're not doing something substantially different, why would I play your game and not just boot up Stardew Valley?
Yeah, I think like that's like one of those like tentpole like it's like the whole gravity of that subgenre is around Stardew Valley in a way that it's like all encompassing. It's like people will just rather play another year of Stardew and like not touch anything else. And what sucks is that Davey Brendan.
No, it's Davy Crockett.
No. One of the minds behind the Beginner's Guide and the Stanley Parable. His new game, I think, is Wanderstop, and like that's like a farming thing. And it's like I want to play what he writes and makes, but did it have to be a farming sim?
Is it like a meta farming sim where like you grow wheat and then it's actually you're growing weak in the mind or some shit?
I think it's less than you'd think, or like less than you'd like it to be, where it's like 2 hours in is like, all right, like defy expectations, but I think it like kind of just like sticks to the farming sim from what I understand most of the way through, which is like, oh
well,
but yeah, Stardew Valley, I watch people literally are playing it live in front of my face and they're having the time of their lives, and I'm like, I don't need to touch this.
Have you considered that you can have cows and chickens and you can name them?
I'd rather play a kart racer or a platformer if I wanted to like chill, to vibe. You know?
Yeah, I think that like when they made racing games, I didn't.
Oh my god, they made so many.
I was like, oh, I don't give a fuck about the vast majority of these. Like, there would be a handful that I like Mario, like a Mario Kart, but like so many of them were about like they're for like car people, like people who are horny for cars, and I'm just like, oh, I don't give a shit. Like, I don't care about that. But like, you know, like a Ridge Racer or whatever, like an arcade racer, I was into. But the hornier you are for cars, the less into it I am. Which is why, like a Gran Turismo, I'm just have zero interest in whatsoever because it's all about being horny for cars.
So, quick tangent before we move on. My brother is a lifelong car freak. Like any type of car, he's an engineer, loves cars, he loves racing games, and a lot of the games he would get for holidays were racing games. So, by proxy of the fact that like we have one console and like when it's his time, it's like, all right, I'll play racing games with you. I have experienced a lot of racing sims. So I understand and appreciate something like a Gran Turismo and like how granular and how many cars and like the tracks and like really good soundtracks. But for me, it was the arcadey ones.
Oh, for sure.
Like the Need for Speeds and the Burnouts and stuff like that. Like MX versus ATV and like they were cranking out like really good games that were very enjoyable. And then it's like everything stopped. There was no Project Gotham Racing. There's no Midnight Club. Like all those companies just like moved on.
There's no
and
regular
now it's
Forza
like,
now.
There's like barely a Forza, and it's like, what happened? It's like, did Mario Kart just like sell all the copies, and it's like that's it? Insane.
Yeah, I mean, but I also think that people are less horny for cars now in general because, like,
Damn millennials.
here in Delaware, the NASCAR, we have a NASCAR track. In the 90s and early aughts, it was just a banana. Like they couldn't keep up. They kept adding seats. They kept adding like layers of seats to it. It was ridiculous. If you look at photos of it then and now, and they've like reduced all of that shit because nobody like. Not that nobody, but like the appeal of NASCAR has waned. People are not into NASCAR now, and I think maybe people are just less horny for cars than they were in the 90s and aughts. But also, we just make exceedingly few games now. We make more games than ever, but they're all very small indie games. All of the big fuck off games, there's like 3 of them now.
Yeah, there's no Auto Modelista cell shaded weird racing game like. There's no car combat games. Like
we've gotten
those
rid
went away.
of the AA level entirely. Yeah. Like it just like the THQs of the world. Like all of that shit is gone.
Well, even like Ubisoft would make like what is it, Split Second, or like they would make like racing games. You know, like The Club and
Rockstar used to make video games.
That's also true. I think it might be because like younger people live in big cities and there's lots of public transportation, and maybe going from gas to electric, it's like you're in an electric car, like it feels weird, like it's different. And maybe because everyone now knows that like cars are like super evil and like fucked up to like plan whole cities around in America. Is it because NASCAR is really going away? It used to be big, like ESPN would cover NASCAR, Jimmy Johnson and Dale Earnhardt, and like famous people would come out of NASCAR, like Jeff Gordon, and now it's like F1. Or it just could be like, it could be a number of reasons, but they used to produce car games.
Yeah.
And people used to buy cars, and now it's like no one wants to touch them. It's like I'm just gonna like Uber or Lyft everywhere, or just walk.
Yeah, unfortunately, most of the country still has to use cars all the time. Like never not. Like that. Like you live in New York, which is not representative of basically anywhere else. Like even Philly, which is another like relatively close East Coast city, the vast majority of people who live there have to interact with cars. Like yes, absolutely, there is transit and stuff, but like the majority of people still have to deal with cars. Like that's just the reality of living in places that aren't New York in the United States.
Fewer car movies like Fast and the Furious or Cars from Pixar? Are people having less kids so there's less minivans? I don't know what's going on, but car culture just seems like it's like going away.
Video games seem to be going away.
Don't even get me started. Actually, that's a great segue. It seems like we're sitting at the precipice of a colossal shift in Nintendo's strategy, philosophy, and business practices. I wrote this down because that's a great phrase that I came up with. Video games are going away and movies are replacing them? Because it seems like Nintendo recently has really signaled that they're like, we can't keep getting more people to buy our games. So we're going to have to go beyond the billions to the even bigger masses of people worldwide who can watch a thing with their eyeballs.
I guess, but this is not just Nintendo being extremely slow to a thing, because Microsoft tried to make Halo into like 100 TV shows and only one of them sort of worked and then got canceled. Sony has made Twisted Metal a TV show, and then they made fucking Uncharted into a movie. It just seems like that's the play. They want money. It takes forever to make a video game, so fuck it, ship a movie.
Well, yes, in the last 10 to 15 years, there's been a huge ramp up in the number of, like, we're pivoting away from superheroes and we're going straight to IP that people know through games. So, like, Minecraft is a huge hit and Sonic the Hedgehog is a huge hit and the Mario movie is a huge hit. But I think, in particular with Nintendo, it seems like they're fascinated with, like, we don't put games out on phones and everyone has a phone in their pocket. So we, like, completely are not going that direction. But this like, Pixar-esque Hickman thing that is literally for no other reason than we're getting our staff internally to start making movies and short films and TV shows. And now they're, like, really starting to open the floodgates of, like, Donkey Kong, it's coming. Super Mario Galaxy is coming. Live action Zelda, it's coming. It's like they're trying to attract more people to become fans of their properties, knowing that not every single one of them is going to buy a Switch 2 and play those games, because, like, the price of gaming is exorbitant now and is, like, becoming it's becoming a thing that is a hobby for not poor people, because these prices are fucking preposterous. Consoles are going up, games are going up, like, controllers are going up, peripherals are everything is going up. So they're just like, I mean, people used to pay a nickel to go to a Nickelodeon and watch a thing, so, like, maybe we should start getting into that business. And it seems like we're on like right before it's like, oh, is Nintendo just, like, moving to, like, theme parks and movies like Disney? Like, are they trying to become the next Disney?
I mean, I think that they obviously are moving to theme parks and movies. I think that is obviously true. I just think that it's just the way that big fuck off profitable corporations are, and the way that rich people conceptualize intellectual property now. I just think that that's just how they view that shit. So, like, none of it's surprising. I don't think that it has, like, a meaningful impact on, like, what Nintendo is, with the exception of if you're a shareholder of Nintendo, then I guess you give a fuck. But from, like, is Nintendo gonna stop making video games? It's like, well, yeah, like, maybe one day, but not anytime in the foreseeable future. They're gonna keep cranking that shit out because it's making them a buttload of money.
Well, yeah, when they can charge $80 for Mario Kart World, which is not as good as Mario Kart 8, and people just have to automatically buy it because it says Mario Kart on the box. I mean, they don't even buy a box. The other two people who made the website with us, the Millers, they're going to Japan and they're going to Kyoto to the Nintendo Museum. And in doing research to help them out, I was just kind of watching videos and, like, learning a lot about that museum, which seems not as much as a museum as it is, like, an extension of their marketing and PR division, where it's like,
correct,
we're not going to tell you anything about our company's legacy or, like, really get into specifics of anything. It's like, here's stuff. Buy stuff. Look at our cool stuff. The history of that company is fascinating because it's them changing their business model. It's toys and cards and love hotels, and it's like they're constantly shifting.
Or is that just the way that Nintendo has always been? Because they've been putting out fucking breakfast cereal since the fucking 80s, dude.
I don't know if they literally produce the cereal. I think they just kind of pay someone else to
that's
slap
their
the license on it,
shtick, right? Is like, yeah, it's Mario. Put him on some underpants. Sell it to a 4-year-old. Fuck it. Who cares?
No. I mean, people are going to merchandise that. I mean, like, regardless, it's just like the old guard of Nintendo is, like, going to leave the picture soon. And it's like, are they going to pull a Konami? Like, are they just going to be like, you know what? Like, pachinko machines make money. Like, what if we just stuck to that? I don't know. Because I like games and I want more games from them. And it's like, they could have done this pivot when the Wii was super popular, but they didn't. They're doing it now.
I'm making a frowny face about this whole, like, the core concept, because this is, to me, this is just Nintendo doing the most Nintendo type shit. And, like, none of this signals any change to me in terms of video games. Like, if they start being like, we're winding down divisions, then, like, yeah, I then panic. But, like, Nintendo wants to sell you more Nintendo shit outside of the video game they sell you once every 5 years. I go, yeah, okay, sure. Yep, that sounds like them.
I'm not panicked. I'm not gonna like have a heart attack if like, they can't come up with an idea for another Pikmin. But they made a Pikmin short film and they're not promoting a Pikmin game. So it's like that's so weird to me. That signals to me something
Jared.
like
Brand awareness.
I guess so. I don't know. I mean, if Microsoft went away from making consoles and they killed Xbox, I'd be like, yeah, it makes sense. But with Nintendo, it's like different because like Nintendo is like the sort of last vestige of like they hire artists and they care about their art,
Jared,
even though
they
secretly
made the fucking
I know.
Super Mario Brothers Super Show. Like, come on.
Hey, that was them trying. That was them experimenting.
Come on,
dude. No. I understand that like the history of that company is they're ruthlessly aggressive and like stewing everyone in the 80s and 90s and like crushing their competition, and they were like really shitty. They like put out the fucking greatest games ever.
Yeah, that's the secret sauce. Is what if you made fucking Super Mario Brothers?
But I want them to keep putting out the greatest fucking games ever and not piss off and just make a bunch of hokey live action Legend of Zelda movies, because it's like
D-tier Pixar.
Yes, I'm worried about them becoming D-tier Pixar and working with DreamWorks to make like mediocre nonsense when it's like,
because we already know modern Pixar is already D-tier Pixar. Burn.
Damn, you got him.
Got him.
Take that, Elio.
Take that, the ghost of Steve Jobs.
Grant, what have you been playing?
I've played some stuff. As we're recording this, Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2 has not come out yet. It got, I would say, very lukewarm reviews, like very much like some 6s, lots of 7s. I think it ended up being like 64, 65 on OpenCritic, which is like, it's not a catastrophe, but you don't want those scores. Like, it's not a good sign. You don't want them. But I will say I have enjoyed plenty of games that ended up in like the mid 60s. So it's like, it's not necessarily catastrophic to me personally whether or not I will like this game. But it is definitely not good news if you want to sell video games, you don't like it. So that's kind of like what I've been excited to play. I'm very curious about that. But as we're recording this, it's not come out yet. Well, we will, by the time you're hearing this, we will have streamed it, at least some sort of coverage about it.
I heard the writing's really good.
The biting or the writing?
No, I heard the writing is good.
Okay.
Like, I heard like the narrative parts, like the characters and the story, like that's great. And it's like the technical and the combat, they're like, what went wrong here?
Well, I mean, I can tell you, I don't know anything that isn't public, but I can fucking tell you what went wrong. What if you have a catastrophe development cycle in which you change developers midway through? Jared, they were selling pre-orders for that game, I want to say, in 2019. They're selling pre-order. They're like, it's coming out. It's about to come out. And then they're like, okay, actually, this game doesn't exist. Sorry. We're giving you your pre-order back. We're sorry.
Nukem Forever is definitely coming out, guys.
So yeah, that's kind of what it is. I've continued to chip away at some stuff. I've continued to chip away at Death Stranding 2, a good video game, which I have so much more to play. I'm so much more to play. I went and bought Arcade Paradise on the Switch too. I mean, it's just the Switch, but it's on my Switch too. And I've been playing a lot of Arcade Paradise, even though I had already beaten it on another console. Or like beat it. You can't like beat it, but I've done the progression of that game. And I'm just having a great time, just having a fucking incredible time playing it. I really love it. It's so meditative, doing laundry and then getting money and buying new arcade machines. I love that game. I had said that I was all the way out, but I did end up picking up Ghosts of Yotei, and I think that intro is pretty good. I do still feel a hard time, at least so far, feeling like a compelling reason to play. Like, it's fine. They set up a reason why the character is doing what the character is doing. Like, that, they make that clear. But it's hard to, sometimes for me, even though I understand the character's motivations, for that to, like, reflect on me and my motivations as the person playing it. Where, like, I don't feel this, like, oh, they killed my family. And I'm like, right, they didn't kill my family. Like, I don't feel that way. I feel like there's a little bit, which is not necessarily a dunk on that game. It's just like sometimes I find that in games, it's difficult early on for me to have emotional investment, especially when they go that big that fast, because like it starts the game where it's like a huge fucking thing happens in the beginning of that game. And so it's a little hard because it's not like they set you up to like grow and care about these characters and this stuff. It's like, listen, this thing happened. Now you got to move past that shit. And I think that's a little bit of a struggle for me personally. I don't know if that matters at all to you.
They didn't kidnap my princess in another castle.
Yeah, it's not mine. What the fuck?
Well, I would say the motivation for most people in playing a game is that you bought it and you want to play it. So, like, here's what I'll say: they let you roam around and like learn about all the things, like, you know, follow your first fox, follow your first bird, you know, talk to the people who the armor and the person who sells the maps, and then as you go down the sort of like main campaign paths of killing the 6 main Yotai 6 evil people, you then get sort of introduced to like some interesting twists where it's not as straightforward as you'd think. And then you get introduced to some main characters who will accompany you on your journey as you get to the end. Because I'm nearing the end. And there's a little more to chew on in a way that I like more than the first game. So the story gets there. It definitely, initially it's like, I want to fill out the map and I want to like collect all the weapons and do all the things and get the new armor. And then by the end, it's like, okay, like now there's some stuff to deal with and there's some hard convos.
So I will say also, we had talked last time we had done a podcast together about whether or not it was Erika Ishii's butt. I got confirmation that Erika Ishii uses any pronouns, which I knew that that they had pronoun like preferences, but I didn't realize what it was, so I just wanted to default last time to they. They use she, he, they, whatever as you see fit. But specifically, I saw a TikTok of Erika Ishii's girlfriend talking about how she was playing Ghosts of Yotei, saw the butt, and I was like, that's not Erika's butt. And then her being
confirmed,
her being like, "You're missing out on a good butt. You're getting some bullshit video game butt when you could be getting a good butt."
Wow, that's breaking journalism.
The hot TikTok journalism. Yeah, it's exclusive to some lady's TikTok.
Exclusive.
But
that's good to know.
It's I don't think that it's bad. Like I've played probably 4 hours or something. Like it's not. I didn't play a shitload of it. I didn't play because I was busy karaokeing over the weekend. I didn't have a ton of time to play video games, but I did play some. And I would say, yeah, I'm broadly having a good time. It looks beautiful. It's a fucking beautiful game. It's an incredible, and they realize like. You can tell like the really good like art directions where it's like, okay, well, how do we use color in like creative, interesting ways? And like the way that these games use yellow is kind of like unlike the vast majority of games. I think the only ones that I can think of that like are the like that Game Company games kind of do that, have that big yellow field type thing. Also,
yellow paint to climb up the thing, you know.
Which I think. Does this not have? I think it has this. I think this has white paint.
It's like white like rocks or whatever.
White bird shit on the rock.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's good, and I think that the way that it kind of like allows you to be in like a dreamlike state and go back and forth between the past and the present is good. The riding on a horse controls really well. Where like I will see something pop up. Just I'll be like, oh shit, this is like a resource I can get, and be like, oh, it's probably too far away, and then I move my joystick to it, and I'm like, oh, actually, I was able to get to that. So like you're riding a horse really fast, controls kind of like shockingly well. I also like the ginkgo leaf in the logo and the iconography of Ghosts of Yotei. I think it's very tasteful, and it also is like relevant to the plot of the game itself too.
It's going to be real high on my Game of the Year list, and I didn't think it would be as I'm sort of like slowly crafting it. Now, obviously, that could change. There's still a ton of fucking games coming out. I didn't expect to really like it. I expected to like it. This one is wowing me. So
also
keep chipping away at that.
Also, this week, Dispatch is coming out. We do not have reviews yet for Dispatch, But it's also, it's like, I don't know if you know this, but it is episodic. And so the first 2 episodes are launching, and I think that they're doing weekly releases, not like monthly releases.
Interesting.
So the first 2 episodes of Dispatch.
I have been at Disney World and only played Pokemon Legends ZA. I'll write about it. I'm not very far, but
And
I think we need to get to
when he gets back from Japan.
I will probably write something about it soon. I might have some spicy takes, but I think we need to get to our very special quiz for Grant.
Okay.
This is a very special edition of 20 questions.
Mm-hmm.
Real easy. I would like for you to guess the game in 20 questions or less.
Did the game come out after December 31st, 1999?
Yes.
Okay. Did the game come out in the last 10 years?
Yes.
Okay. Is it I'm going to give some clarification on this. Is it a first-party game, meaning published in full or in part by one of the major console makers? Like, published by Sony, published by Microsoft, published by Nintendo?
Yes.
Okay. Is it a Nintendo game?
Yes.
Okay. Is it one of their 2 big franchises, that being Zelda and Mario?
It is.
Okay. Is it a Zelda?
Yep.
Is it Breath of the Wild?
So the point of this exercise was to say yes to every question and find out where you landed.
Okay.
And you landed at Breath of the Wild.
So if I had just said, is it Breath of the Wild in question 1, it would just be over?
Yes. So I wanted to see where your brain would go as an experiment.
Okay.
And it led to Breath of the Wild.
Okay.
And I'm curious as to if someone were to do that to me, where would I go?
That is interesting.
Now, the illusion is broken. Like, I kind of, like, if you did that to me in 2 weeks, I would have been like, wait a second.
Yeah.
But I wanted to say yes to every question to see, like, oh, well, clearly it must be Breath of the Wild, like.
Well, but like, honestly, the questions were vague enough, or, like, broad enough that, like, the first 3, it's like, you saying yes to those is like, whatever. Like, sure, there's a fucking lot of those.
But you got the Breath of the Wild in 7.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
It's not, I mean, listen, man. Breath of the Wild's pretty good.
It's so good, in fact, that I got a cameo video from Arlo, the puppet guy who talks about games, when Jack graduated from grad school. Mm-hmm. And I told Arlo, like, congratulate Jack on graduating, but also tear him a new asshole for never playing a Zelda game, especially Breath of the Wild. And Arlo was so aghast. And Jack's like, and now I'm just not going to play it to spite you. But guess what? The joke's on you, Jack. You don't get to play one of the greatest games ever made.
But here's the, Jack, we have to fix this, right? We have to bully Jack into playing, like, Ocarina of Time, right?
I think what we need to start doing is getting these games into these people's hands on stream.
Yeah.
Because then it's more fun.
Yeah.
Like, if he just went away and played it, it's like, well, I don't know what he did. I don't know. I can't see the joy on his face.
I guess, but it's so hard to be into, like, as somebody who has to stream once a week, it's so hard to be into a video game while you're streaming. Because I'm so busy thinking about everything that's not the video game that I'm never having a good time playing the video game. Or that's not true. Not never. But, like, it's really hard to really pay attention and to give it your all when you're streaming.
I definitely think that I'm good at multitasking in the way that, like, I can sort of put a game on autopilot.
Yeah, I can, but it's not fun.
I think I can find enjoyment at it, depending on what it is. We'll see, because I have the Elgato sitting next to me.
Yeah.
So we're gonna see how that goes.
We're gonna have Jared streams.
Oh boy. Any final words you would like to give the people of the website?
If you want to know anything about collecting Pokemon cards, one Jack Miller, CEO of Video Game Town, has written a collection of guides. As you're reading, or as you're listening to this, at least 2, perhaps all 3, are on the website. So check that out if you have any particular interest. Jared has done some soda reviews, if you're interested in those. And we're also, covering games and stuff. So, like, obviously, I had promised a Molly stream. Molly unfortunately got sick, so I'm trying to figure out when the next time a Molly stream will happen. She got sick the
Maybe
day.
this Friday because I'm going to be at a wedding.
Perhaps we'll see. But I had confirmed with her the day before, and then the day of, she's like, "So I have some bad news."
Uh-oh.
Yeah. So that was unfortunate. But we will have Molly back as soon as we can. But yeah, videogame.town. And then specifically, you want to support us, videogame.town/donate. We have a Patreon, we have a Ko-fi. And then also you can just review our podcast. If you don't have the cash to throw us, you can make a huge difference in our lives and the success of this podcast and the success of our website by going to podcasts, the Apple Podcasts, or going to Spotify and liking or reviewing our podcast, giving a rating. It would be very, very useful. So if you can do that, we would appreciate it.
And yeah, I think we had a successful episode. I'm looking forward to writing so much with this one arm that is going to go limp by the time I wake up tomorrow morning. I'm going to write about theme parks. I'm going to write about Pokemon. I'm going to write about Halloween candy. Who knows what childish things I'll write about next. When does Katamari come out? Actually, I kind of want to just write about that.
We can write about how Grant is the sole correct opinion about candy corn.
Oh, candy corn is super gross.
That it's awesome and great and a seasonal treat.
Ugh.
Alrighty, we will talk to you next week. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, everyone. Candy corn sucks.
You know what they say? That's what they always call Jared. Two clap Jared.
That's me. Don't put that in the podcast that I have. 2 claps. It could be misconstrued.
Don't put in the newspaper that I got clapped.